evening, Commissioner. Could you probably give us an update? We're at the end of the first day of the recount. Could you please give us an update on what's happening?
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, Khadija, we are not at the end of the first day. The end of the first day will finish at midnight, and the end of the second day will start at 12:01. Because as you're aware, this process is intended to run from the start this morning until concluded. So at the start this morning, we started to deal with a request for a recount for a part of District 4, which is the east coast of Demerara sub-district, which contains 391 boxes. An arrangement was put in place to have 25 tables work simultaneously. I want to start from saying at the outset that GECOM has done extremely well to provide 3 staff at every table. That means 75 staff members of GECOM alone are working at any given time. Most, if not all, of the parties have provided agents to scrutinize this process. The process started somewhat slowly, and by now, just before 6 o'clock, we have processed just over 100 boxes, as I've publicly stated not so long ago. Of note and of great importance is that there is no significant change in the numbers that are already contained on statements of whole that of course have led to declarations. There is no significant change. There is perhaps a one here that might have been queried, that questions are being asked about. There may be one there that a question is asked about, but by and large, there has been no significant change in the results. This process is, of course, I believe, of significance because I've said it before, and I was trying not to say it again, but I must say it. It's delaying the inevitable. There is absolutely no way, unless something cataclysmic occurs, and I don't see that happening, that the results can be changed in any significant way. The parties, I spoke about this a moment ago, but I want to elaborate on this. The parties have fielded agents insofar, and I want to speak directly to the party that made the request. That is to say, the APNU. While there are agents in there, you are seeing other than agents being present, you are seeing no real interest from their leaders. You are seeing no real interest from senior members of their party, senior candidates, nothing like that. And it therefore begs the question whether this is indeed a delaying tactic to frustrate the electorate and to frustrate this nation as a whole. That is where the recount process started. After that, and the window for recounts closed at 12 o'clock today, 12 noon today. Before the closing of that, we received I believe the returning officer for District 5 received a request for a partial recount, and a number of boxes were specified, which totals 77. That request was granted because it satisfied all the criteria necessary for the grant of a recount. I'm also aware that yesterday, before because the window for recounts start when the declaration is made and close 12 noon the following day. As you're aware, Region 8, District 8 was concluded on Tuesday, and therefore that window for recount would have closed yesterday. I understand that prior to the close of that window yesterday, a request for a recount in Region 8 was submitted. However, it was not signed by the person who is duly appointed by law to make that request, and as a consequence, it was rejected on that basis. I am also aware that a similar request came today for the entirety of Region 4 from WIM, and it suffered the same defect, and as a consequence was rejected. So all in all, that's where we are. It is intended that after the count of Region 4 is done, the partial count of Region 4, that partial count of Region 5 will continue until all the boxes that are contemplated are counted. I think it's a total of 77 and 391, which runs you, I believe, 468. So it's about 367, if my math serves me correctly.
The recount for Region 5, is it based on your knowledge, random or selected villages or so on?
I haven't interrogated the specific request with any specificity that will allow me to answer that intelligently. However, I just know that it total 77 in number.
Is there a
Commissioner, you
reason
said
for
it
that
met the
result?
criteria. Could you help us explaining simply what that criteria is?
Well, the two basic criteria, and there may be more, but I believe these are the rudimentary ones, that it is received in time and the request is made by the right person. In this sense, that it complied with those two criteria.
Was there a specific reason for this recall or anything you like?
I believe that the reason was proffered, but I can't remember that reason.
GECOM had initially stated that the process would be uninterrupted. Will this continue throughout the night into the morning until all boxes are done?
That is the plan as we speak.
Okay, one final question for me. You mentioned that 2 requests for recounts were not granted. What happens after that? On the party's end, what can the party do?
Well, I don't know that I have the responsibility of advising the party. As far as I'm aware, if an application comes and there is it does not comply with the requirements and is rejected, that's the end of the matter as far as GECOM is concerned.
Can I ask you a question? What follows election of non-advisor?
Sorry, remember the media?
Yes, sir.
Okay, wait, can you come with your mic?
I don't have a mic.